That wasn't any fun.
Okay. Two petitions.
So these big, only glasses they give you, if you want to walk outside, because they have your eyes completely dilated.
You ready? You got your minutes?
Okay.
Where's your notebook?
Right here.
Oh. Meeting will now come to order. Say the pledge of allegiance, please.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, before we start, I would like to have a moment of silence for
Rhonda.
Rhonda Traffy, who was a very viable member of the ambulance committee in the town of New Ipswich for many years. Okay, thank you. I know she'll be sorely missed at Sauhegan Valley and a number of other areas where she was really a hard worker.
I just wanted to make a comment at the funeral yesterday that all the police department was there, the EMTs, the fire department, and sheriffs, and it was very impressive to me. It was very nice.
There were people from every department, I think.
Yes.
So,
A lot of them too.
and some of them probably, the ones that didn't go yesterday went the night before to
Yes.
go away because of apparently overflowing at the church and going road. So that's a credit to what she actually did and the kind of a person that she was. Okay, so the agenda for this evening is we will discuss this issue here. I don't know if you're familiar with this or not, but just briefly, it's a whole packet. But the planning board, with Ed Decker and Paul Turman, we're going to discuss as to how to approach this. There are some recommendations as far as we could go with the town of Temple in regards to it. You know what that means? Are you familiar with this? It means that the state would then, the state takes control of all the turbines, any turbines and so forth that in this particular petition would be placed in Northwich. There's 5. There's what, 3 in Northwich, or 2 in Northwich and 3 in Temple, right?
Yes.
And,
The state automatically takes jurisdiction of projects over 30 megawatts
right.
and optionally can take jurisdiction between 15 and 30.
So
This particular project would be 15.
So the question that comes up is, for this board anyway, and the planning board, I think it's pretty much already agreed that what they would like to do with it, but there has to be a combination effort along with the town of Temple in this particular case. And the town of Temple has indicated that they would like to join with the town of New Ipswich and join up and go to Concord and state their opinions, etc. whenever it happens. There is no date set, I don't think.
There is no date set for the hearing on taking jurisdiction, but the first step would be to oppose the state taking jurisdiction away from the local boards.
Okay, so there's no immediate action to object to the petition that we have to take at the present time, but after a while the SAC will order a formal notice and there will be a time to object, and then it'll be given by the SEC to both Northwich and Temple. So all of this is a pattern that's going to end up following one step and then 2 steps. That's pursuant to, what is it, 674 something, the RSA that was enacted 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Not too long, maybe it was 2008 or 9.
I think it was more like 8 or 9.
Yeah, so, anyway, this is from the planning board's lawyer Kenyon. I don't know if you ever met him or not. And if the town's, his question basically is whether we want to go and join Temple, I think, and that's the reason they're here tonight. And is there any other things that you want to say at the present time, either one of you?
That's the main issue,
The other question,
join with Temple and
the other question that comes up, and, like he says here, the first step is for the Northwich Board of Selectmen to decide if it also wishes to object to and seek to defeat the petition. Now, this is done on a petition basis to the state. They don't necessarily have to always, they can accept the petition, but they may not be open to it, and they may change their minds, and it may come back to the local level if there is any recourse. What it does is circumvents all the rules and regulations that have been placed in effect for how many years now, as far as windmills are concerned? Especially the one last year?
Yes,
Yeah.
the one we passed last year, the one that Temple passed last year, and for that matter, the one that was passed 2 years before that.
Right, all of them, yeah, the whole pattern, I mean, it just makes them pretty much null and void if you take the local regulations away.
It's not entirely clear of that. There is the chance that if the SEC takes jurisdiction, that we could ask the SEC to apply our rules. There's no guarantee they would do that.
Right, that's what this whole big packet is here, and it's a combination of things. There's all kinds of evidence and stuff in there from different things that have happened throughout the years here regarding windmills and turbines. So
the thing that's most interesting there is the first dozen pages or so, and how they managed to mischaracterize the history.
it's probably up to page 20, or close to 20 pages, I think, that really directly affect us. And you think it's 12?
I'd say the first 12 are the ones that I found most interesting.
Okay.
But anyway, just for example, there was a description of the extensive design review they held to thoroughly review the plans with New Ipswich. They couldn't tell us how big windmills they were going to use. They couldn't tell us how many there were going to be. They couldn't tell us where they wanted to put them. And they asked one question: should the driveway be paved or gravel? That was a thorough review.
And that was it.
That was it.
All right, so I guess the one key question is as to whether we want to meet the selectmen from Northwood, selectmen from Temple, the planning board from both towns as a joint group and discuss these things and then go forward from there. Apparently they've indicated, I had a brief conversation with Bob Kelly, I think you probably had a longer one, I don't know, but in regards to that, and I told him we were going to be discussing it tonight, and I was going to get back to him as to, he would like to have a meeting wherever, either here or there, or as far as, do you need all your board? I don't know if you need all your, the planning board, but it wouldn't hurt, I'm sure. They're all in agreement over there apparently, so the only question is how to go forward. It may not be, you don't have to do it right away either, as far as I'm concerned, according to this. You've got a while to wait.
Well, we don't know exactly how much notice we'll get once the hearing is scheduled on, it very well could be scheduled and we have 2 weeks to prepare a reply.
Mm-hmm.
So we do probably want to move fast and take care of the early steps like meeting with Temple.
You want to meet with Temple?
Yes.
You're recommending that?
Yes, I am.
The planning board was in agreement with that? Okay. I don't have a problem with it.
I don't have a problem meeting with Temple, no.
When would you like to do it?
As soon as possible. My schedule is fairly easy, so I think your schedules and the schedules for the folks from Temple are an issue, as well as some schedules for the other people on the planning board.
Where did you feel that would be doesn't have to be a neutral area either, would it be here? I think
Here or in Temple,
it's probably bigger than what they have over there, I don't know. I haven't been there lately, but.
we had one meeting back when when they were writing their ordinance over there, and they had a nice meeting room,
Is
but,
it bigger than this?
well, the same size,
In that building on Route 45?
yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I have no strong opinion on where to meet.
Okay. So, do you wanna call him or do you want me to call him? I mean.
I think I'd like you to, as a selectman,
Okay, he's the chairman of the board of selectmen over there, so, and he did call me, but I guess he had already talked to, I don't know if he talked to anybody else over here or not, but he didn't say he had. You didn't even tell me he had talked to you, but you said.
No, I haven't talked to him directly. I've been
through
getting,
somebody else.
Liz has been talking to people on the planning board there,
Oh, I see.
and I've been getting the word from Liz.
All right, but we're all in agreement that we wanna go forward, is that what it is?
Talk with the other town, sure.
Are you in agreement that you wanna, go forward against their petition or with the SEC? So hopefully we can sway them that, not to rule on the thing themselves and just disregard, not completely the town, I'm sure that everything isn't disregarded, but it sounds like a lot of it could be as far as what you require or not require, right or wrong?
Right.
The point that I guess that I wanted to make, and I tried to make to him also, was the fact that all these people have worked hard, whether you were for them or not, they always passed with a fairly good majority as far as votes were concerned and so forth. I don't think any of them were that close, maybe I'm wrong. As far as the votes for these, the regulations that you now have in subdivision, in the, not subdivision, zoning regulations, requirements and so forth. So I think that that's a plus, and it'd be too bad for us as a board or boards to just disregard what the people voted and just say, okay, state, you can take it and we don't want anything more to do with it. I think that everybody worked too hard on it, and you need to be able to have some sort of a handle on it, am I right?
That is my position.
Okay.
If my memory is correct, we won, the amendments passed by an excess of 10%.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, it's there.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that it wasn't so that it was just a fraction, I think it was a substantial amount, enough so that it matters. That's what I'm saying, is the town favored it, it wouldn't be right for us to just sit back and say, we don't care what they do. That's my feeling.
Yes.
So, we can do that, all right, and you want me to call them and set it up?
Yes.
And, we can't do it, what nights?
Any night but Friday night.
Any night but Friday night?
Any night for me. And for that matter, any day.
I can't set it up next Tuesday night, which is our regular selectmen's meeting anyway, but, because we got the budget discussed, at 7 o'clock, I believe it is, so. We can set it up for any other night then. When's your next planning board meeting?
The third Wednesday.
Have you got an agenda for it already?
Yes.
Oh, you have one, all right.
But we could, I think there's room in the schedule to add something.
Would it make more sense for us to meet on a Wednesday night when you got all your planning board together and so forth, or not?
Planning board is only one of the 4 groups that would be meeting, so
Well, you mean from New Ipswich?
from New Ipswich, it's one of the
I
2.
don't know when do they meet in Temple, do you know?
I don't know
Well,
when
I'll
they
have to
meet.
find all that out, I guess. I'll see if I can set something up that's gonna be compatible with everybody as much
Okay.
as possible. All right.
Joanne would have the details of what's on the agenda for the next meeting.
Yeah.
We have 2 meetings this month, one of which is going to be a packed one with USA Properties.
You think it'd be packed,
No, I mean, the schedule is packed.
Oh, I thought you meant that the room would be packed.
No.
That's a possibility. too.
Although we are getting a pretty good turnout for that one.
Well, you should, I think, because that's a controversial issue down there, I believe anyway, maybe not, always has been.
No, I think it's an accurate description.
You can go back 20 or 30, close to 30 years if you want, never changed.
Back to the Barnsley period.
I was there. That was not always fun.
It was interesting to see Mr. Barnsley show up for one of the hearings and actually be able to put a face to the name.
Well, you never met him?
I had not met him until the last few months,
Once you've seen him, you won't forget him, right?
right?
He was a Marine helicopter pilot. Billy Barnsley. Anyway, all right, so I'll do that and I'll get back to you. Or Joanne, or what, how do you want it?
Either send, contact me or contact us through
You guys-
Joanne.
You're both agreeable for any night during the week, except and you're agreeable for anything but Friday night.
Yes.
All right.
Jim, how does that work for you?
As long as it's not on your planning board night.
If it's on the planning board night and we block off part of the schedule, that's fine too. I just, Joanne is the keeper of the agenda.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll try to make it so it's gonna be easier for everybody concerned, I hope. You've got quite a, you're right, you do have 4 boards, so that's a larger group than usual perhaps, but
Yes.
we'll see if we can do it and then come to some conclusion. All right, anything else with planning board?
Nothing else for the planning
Other
board?
than that,
Thank you.
how'd your hearings went well?
Yes,
The petition articles?
yes. We've discussed them thoroughly. The planning board ended up approving or recommending both articles.
You mean recommending as far as the vote?
As far as the ballot line recommended by the planning board.
But you didn't vote in favor or against, is that what you're saying, or you did?
We voted to recommend both articles.
Yeah.
To support them, Joe?
To support them?
To support them.
We can't change them, their petition.
No, I understand you can't change them, but does that mean then that the planning board has voted to basically in favor of doing away with impact fees?
A majority of the planning board did.
The majority did.
I personally took the position that the voters in New Ipswich passed the impact fees, and if they want to repeal them, fine, but they've got to understand that the same dollars are going to be spent and will have to come from someplace else. And so I voted against that.
When you say that, what do you mean?
I'm saying that by collecting impact fees, we're not spending additional money. We're simply spending money on things that need to be spent on. And we are avoiding collecting money as regular property taxes.
Well, that's your interpretation of the way it's done?
Yes. I'm basically confident the selectmen are not going to spend the impact fee money and the associated town share on things that otherwise wouldn't be done.
No, because the key word is impact, no matter how you look at it. So,
Right.
for example, the roads thing, what is it, $1,300, $1,400 and something dollars that go for highways, that's, some of that's already been used, you know. The school part of it, the biggest share of that was used, and
Right.
58,000 and something, but the other thing that went along with it at the time, goes along with it is if there's some sort of construction, for example, a school construction project or a bond or whatever with, and your payment, that money was used that way. We worked it out with the school anyway, so there isn't much left there right now as far as the school is concerned.
Right.
From what was collected.
Yeah, the concern on some members of the planning board was the people who divide off one lot for, say, a child to build a home.
Mhm.
And to assess them the money didn't seem to be as justified as assessing a developer building a big subdivision. And the second item that the majority noticed was that with our period of low building, there's been very little collected.
Well, yes, recently, yeah.
But
You had 13, what was it, 13 or 14 in the first couple of years, I guess it was, huh?
Yeah.
But if you don't spend it in use it in the 6 years, you have to give it back anyway, so.
yes. So anyway, if the voters choose to pay in property taxes rather than impact fees, that's what will happen.
See, I guess I don't really rationalize it that way, that they're paying in property taxes. I think the deeds are something that's used over and beyond what was raised in property taxes. And they're set up in separate accounts, you knew that, right?
Right, it's
They don't go in
currently segregated. What I'm saying is, well, for example, the Tricknet Bridge, part of the impact fees for roads was used for the Tricknet Bridge.
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
Their
It was
road.
Their road bridge, okay.
There was used.
Okay, if the impact fees weren't available, the town would have had to use general funds
They
for
would
the
have had to
Fair
use
Road
tax
Bridge.
dollars, that's right, that's what I was just saying, was that they're separate, so that if you didn't, then it would have come out of the regular highway budget, but because of the fact you had the impact fees there that they were able to use, so you didn't, at 41,000 plus, there was some other monies that were used from, I think it came to close to a $60,000 figure that was used for that culvert up there.
Right, what I'm saying is that would have had to come from,
From your pocket and mine,
right,
yeah. So, if you rescind that, then projects like that may or may not get done in the future, I guess that's the only point that people, the advocates of impact fees would make. I didn't say I was advocating it, but that's an argument that you usually would hear.
yeah.
And then the other argument is the people who live on a state road don't think that, they should be paying the full amount because of the fact that, the only thing that they may or may not be using is the school, right? Maybe possibly the police now and then, but they're not using town highways and,
Well, they definitely are using town public safety for the third component.
no, they're using it to a certain extent, yeah, sure.
And the same comment comes from people living on private roads.
Yeah,
Although both private road and state road residents are kicking it in for the connector roads.
but these arguments that you hear, and I'm sure Jim Schultz hears more of them than we do actually, because he's dealing with people all the time on that, so.
I'm the guy
That's
that gets
just-
to collect them.
Huh?
I'm the guy that has to collect them.
I understand that.
I think it is worth noting that the article does nothing about the impact fees that have already been assessed. So any lot that's been created and had an impact fee assessed upon it
No, that doesn't change.
will not change.
No, it won't. No. Nothing will change. If somebody came in for a permit the day before voting and got their permit and so forth, they still would have to pay an impact fee for that permit.
I'd tell them to waive it.
You would? You know what I'm saying? In other words,
I understand, that's exactly right, Judge.
it is. And
But we-
then if they vote it out on election day, the following day, it takes effect, right? So, but anyway.
And the other one is the warrant article to clarify temporary buildings and
Yeah,
tent type structures.
yeah.
The only issue one member of the planning board, me, had with the issue was why a tent type structure had a different length allowed if it was clear plastic versus opaque cloth.
Mhm.
And the proponents of the warrant article the proponent who was there couldn't explain why. But since no change could be made,
No,
it
you
was
can't,
pretty much
you
moot.
can't make changes to them, no, even though some people may object, may not agree with that.
Otherwise, we all pretty much felt that it was a reasonable simplification.
You got any comments? You haven't said anything? Huh?
Just been listening.
Oh, okay. So, anyway, that's your two main articles, I guess, that the plan board is proposing, right? You haven't got any others?
We did not come up with any of our own this year.
Where's the one that came in today? Oh, this one here was another article that came by petition, but it's not, you wouldn't be able to act on it now, I don't think, anyway, because the date was already gone by. Isn't it?
Yeah, the deadline passed.
That one's there, the demolished building number 2. To raise and appropriate $46,000. Not to exceed, to demolish building number 2, and it will include all demolition and debris removal activities. It's a non-lapsing appropriation, which means that if it's not done 2013, then it can go into 2014.
Did you say that's not gonna end?
What?
Was that in time?
Of course it's in time.
Okay, that's what it
If
is.
somebody walked through the door now and gave us an article, a petition article, we'd have to accept it. Today's the last date.
Then for general articles, it's a different deadline than zoning articles.
Yes, yeah, because of the way zoning is, you have to have hearings and so forth, and then if there's a need for it, you still have to go back for a rehearing, you gotta be able to comply with all the days that are required. The zoning requirements for the days that are included in what is it, is it one of them a 45-day requirement? I'm trying to think.
Big stack of 7s and 14s.
Huh?
Well, for the petition articles, we don't have the issue of rehearings or anything since it's,
No, you
Since-
don't on a petition article, but if you went in and you wrote an article,
Yeah.
then somebody came in and you changed it, then you have to have another hearing within a certain amount of time.
Oh, yeah,
and all
yes.
that stuff. You still gotta fall within the guides of.
oh yeah, I was
so many
talking,
days.
I was talking strictly of the petition article.
It has to be so many days prior to the voting.
Yeah. We were not, according to the state law, we could not even schedule the hearing until after the deadline passed.
I don't remember that, maybe that's true, but I know that you have to do it anyway, no matter how you do it. Remember did you come here when we still had the zoning petition article to do away with zoning? You remember those days?
No, I don't think I was here for that.
Those guys do. You remember it, Jim, when Leo Coivill
Leo
came in with
Coivill.
every year?
Yeah.
Planning board had to sit here and hold a hearing every year just for the same thing. You couldn't do anything with it. Because he was trying to rescind zoning like they're trying to rescind the impact fees right now. What?
That number on the demolition, you have to be careful, George. You realize that building is the hub for everything for your other two buildings.
I do. Of course I
Water
do.
comes out of there, your fire alarm, your telephones, electricity, or your generator power, all comes out of building two and goes out to the other two buildings, so when you knock that one down, you have a lot of infrastructure work.
I don't know who wrote this article, so.
I'm just,
Do you know who brought it in, Roger?
Yeah.
No, it probably
just-
doesn't matter, but,
But she said she didn't write it, so.
who, Marcia Over?
So she said she didn't write it, so I don't know who wrote
She
it.
brought it?
that may cover the demolition, but there's a lot of work other than that, because
Wow.
even the
There's a lot of
water,
things you have to take into consideration as far as that building's concerned. There's a lot of supplies and so forth that are inside there that I'm sure are still good. I mean, I don't know how many dollars, probably thousands actually overall between donations and what was spent and everything else for the sheetrock and studs and all the rest of the stuff's in there. You got the rooftop, units on top, you're not gonna destroy them. So, there's a lot that would have to go into this before you considered even demolishing it.
you should look into it. I'm just saying, all your power, your generators, everything goes through that building and then runs out to this building and to the highway garage, so
Okay.
it's not a simple, just knock it down and sweep up the floor.
All right. Anything, did you go through these warrant articles, Ben?
Quickly.
Did she send you copies of them?
Yeah, I got an email.
All of them? This is the most,
All the ones I had at the time.
that one is the most recent one anyway. By petition, so. Well, you all set?
Thank you.
Thank you
so
much,
much.
George.
I'll let you know, Ed. Okay, we'll let you know.
Okay, great.
Believe you.
Thank you. All right.
Stick up work, let's stick around, do the paper, that's all I was
Right, tomorrow, we'll not be here and
Have a good night.
They lose the water.
I guess he sent this here. Fellow members of the board, I apologize for not attending tonight's meeting. My opinion, based on last year's voting of the wind farm amendment, that we should join with Temple. We've already pretty much agreed to that anyway. I think that would be foolish not to. And it says to object to and seek to defeat the petition for a jurisdiction. And he also agrees that we should hire a single lawyer to represent both towns who specialize in this area of expertise. All right, so, but he told you he was coming at,
He thought he might come around maybe 8:30 or after 8:30, 9 o'clock or something.
okay, any other discussion on these warrant articles? Anything you need for warrant articles, Roger?
Yeah, this is what Joanne gave me, and she said it has to be exactly the way it's on there.
Those are the
That's
ones that
okay.
are they changed?
It changed, I had to change a little bit from what I had here, and
Why? Where'd you get those from?
Joanne gave it to me. And that's apparently what the planning board approved.
You know, you got the original one that was,
Those are the
that's what I
ones that
thought,
were
these are
before.
the planning board approved, but they changed, they couldn't change it.
We didn't change it.
Huh?
We didn't, our only discussion, George, was whether we were gonna support it or not support it.
Well, you said there's a difference in the words?
Yeah, there was a little bit different in the wording,
That's the original one that was sent in to us?
that's the original one that Marie, must have copied from somewhere, but she.
Well,
had
that's the
a
one
little
I
bit
received from, what's that guy's
I
name?
remember seeing
Mattson? We accepted it that night. And you gotta,
Well, wait a minute,
Yes,
no, that's not the original one.
Okay, I need the original one.
I didn't really
actually,
get that
did you
one.
get a, actually.
Anyhow, it needs to be the
Did you get
original
it? Did you get your
that the
copy?
planning board
No.
saw also.
I would
I'm
like
sure you
that.
guys saw the
There's something
original
that had to-
petition,
of which-
so.
Yep.
This is it.
The
This is
warrant
it.
article building two. That's for-
It does, it has to be word for word the way it was originally wrote, so.
Or any other article.
Joanne is correct.
I have,
Joanne brought the originals to the planning board.
I'm sure she did.
Yeah.
That? Yeah, just bring it back. You gonna make a copy of it?
where's your copy machine? I can do it.
You're gonna bring that
Right
up?
around the corner.
Okay, like one
Right
thing
by
is,
Cindy.
Okay.
she didn't capitalize planning board.
Get a copy.
That I don't believe is a big thing.
To the planning. I think it should be probably.
Do you know where the original is, Rod?
We're reading it right now.
No, that's not the original.
Oh, no, you mean the actual petition with the,
With the
yeah.
language they had on it.
Oh, did that go in reading for you?
Might be. I don't know.
And then we can offset
That's what
with this
you
one
need.
here, yeah.
What?
That's what you need to look at, because that should be.
It was signed by, no, that's the other one. That's not the one. That's just the one we just received.
Those are the new ones I put in here.
Okay.
Thank you. You all set now? There was-
Yeah, it should
Roger,
be.
what was
I'll
that
give you a
copy?
call
You
back.
had a copy with her name on it? Or did you fax it to her?
I faxed the, agenda.
No, it wasn't the agenda, it was a budget copy.
Oh,
I think you had
that
that
was
fax
the
on it.
budget.
It was on the table and.
Don't have them?
That was
I
at some
passed
point
them.
last week, or,
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
Pass them in the
You're
morning.
all set then?
yeah, I'm all set.
We wanna keep you up to date, you know.
Thank you.
You think it's in here, Ron? Should have been.
I think it should be,
Well, maybe not, maybe Joanne had ended up with
Who's the last day?
it. You can, if
okay, let me,
there's any words.
No,
What'd you say? You say you've been through those warrant articles?
Yes.
this is the petition.
That's the one,
from-
okay.
From the impact fees, and this is the one for the, building.
The one you were asking about.
No, I need the impact fee one.
That's the one because of the language, right?
I'll go word for word here while, we can move on to the next thing while I'm doing this.
We don't have too many next things. Probably next week. Right, man on the street,
Yep,
what do you think? Huh?
I might be in Florida, I won't be
You
here.
going to Florida?
One of these days, if we get done with these funerals long.
So this is,
Funeral?
okay.
Yeah. One after another.
Happens, huh?
The painter. Traffic. The painter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Ambulance lady.
The painter. Too bad.
Yes.
I didn't know anything about it till now.
She's been sick for a couple of years, but she real low key. They didn't talk about her or anything.
No, that's word for word with the original.
Is it?
So the one that she sent here is word for word.
okay?
Good.
Alright, now, what
Joanne
about,
sent you?
Yep, the one Joanne sent was word for word.
Okay, so
So
where,
then it would
what
be in
happened?
this one. Where's this one?
This one.
This is the one I have to
I
look.
don't know what that's
That's
for.
not the one she,
Nominate you for what?
Oh, it's good for the
uh,
Oh,
okay, now you wanna compare,
yeah.
This one's right here, this one right here is that first one.
Okay, right here, number 2.
In my estimation, Toby was a good man when you lose him. Jim, Higgsy, you know, when he quits, you don't lose a good man. I think.
Well, he always meant me quit. Actually,
Oh, no.
I'm a police officer. I'm a police officer. I work with this rule. Kids go to get 11 police officers in that school.
Yeah, but they'd have him anywhere with those girls who go to school.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they're going ice cream, there's a lot of
That's
guys.
word for word,
Doesn't
that's-
matter.
it is right
No,
there.
So that's not
He
good.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no,
No,
I don't
this-
see discrepancy, I can't.
Okay, now if you look at this one here, then look at this one, I
Okay.
think she did it differently on that. See, because this starts out where it's more small utility sheds and she puts out of town.
If they go for an ice cream,
Okay.
they'll say,
Yeah, you have to take that
She
part
could-
out.
she
No,
could-
this has to be
it
in.
doesn't.
What's true? Crazy.
Yeah, if that was part of the petition that was sent in, that needs to be put in.
So it was deleted half that. so-
And, well, that may be a legality issue because that is not what they are asking for. That is a definition by them.
Okay.
Or not a definition, but a statement.
Explanation then? Okay.
Yeah,
Cause,
this is what they are actually asking for and that's what she put down.
okay. And maybe that's why she did that way. She
It,
might
that,
have
that,
it
that I
on
would have
purpose.
to have a legality, just look at it, because this is doesn't have a purpose, it's just a statement, sentence.
It doesn't do anything as far as changing anything.
No, it's just a statement sentence, it's not a, what
Shall we do this?
what are we voting on type of thing.
Okay,
You
so
gotta-
this is what Joanne gave me and this is what
Right.
should be in here.
This is the way the planning board approved it. Now, there was one petitioner there, right?
Yeah, Jim Harrison.
He was there?
Mhm.
Okay. Did he know any of the words were gonna be changed? 'Cause I had assumed they wrote this thing up with legal advice. Sell the town vote, okay, this, all right, here's the question. Right here as follows, they probably didn't even need that in there, but. Is all of this here the same as what they vote, what the planning board voted on? That's my question, I guess. In other words, is this here the same as all these people signed? Probably they didn't read it anyway. They should off this off of here, right?
January 15th, going to have Barrett Jackson's auction start. You ever watch that?
What?
Yeah, but I-
No, it's the same exact thing as what he said, but it's in here.
Those people pay way more than they should. They're all multi-millionaires, they don't care what they say.
That's right.
It's crazy.
So occurred on night.
You probably didn't even need that in there, right, Raj?
Well, this is kind of just a little
Did
bit of
Joanne
an
take-
explanation. of
So
what she
Joanne
took
didn't
out.
put that in here at all, right?
No, I don't think it ended up.
It's just that first,
Go there.
that first sentence is not
That's
in
just
there.
a summation. This here's the actual question that they're voting on.
That's why I'm
As long as
saying,
all this word in here is.
it's all for,
Yeah, that.
word for word.
I believe that. Just the way it is.
Yeah, because that
Okay.
top part has nothing to do with it.
Right.
So,
It's-
she said to take out the italics,
Yeah.
so I took out the
It was
italics.
fake.
So
Yeah,
I
no,
took out
that's-
both of them.
Okay, that's fine.
Who told you to take out?
Joanne did.
No.
So that's why.
I don't believe there's a difference in italic or non-italic. I don't believe, but that's word for word for everything except for that top sentence, in which that top sentence is not a.
I don't know.
You want to
Doesn't
copy
matter.
this?
Okay, thank you.
I don't know if you're familiar with it or not. You haven't seen that, I know you haven't.
Saw it on the table, I looked at it last night.
You saw it on the table?
Yep.
Where? In the, oh, in her office?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You all set with that? All set with those articles now? Anything else that needs to be
Well,
looked at or changed?
We should look at, probably that last article.
Which one, this one, the one that just came in?
Yeah.
We still have to, it's a legit petition.
What do you need to look at for?
Well, maybe just to make sure that that is okay with the,
Oh, was it written in here?
Yeah, have you got it in there?
yeah, actually, yeah.
Oh, all right.
Okay. Let's see, the town, vote to read.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let's work with it.
Good. You gotta put it that way, it has to be, you
Okay.
can't even change the non-option part.
No, and then the other question I have is on the ambulance one, do you wanna change that wording on that one?
Oh, yeah, you asked that already, right? You got it highlighted.
Yeah, right in this here, do you wanna change it to be like that, or?
It's the way they asked us last year to put it. That's the what, it was brought up in, well, it was brought up on the floor and changed.
At the delivery session.
That's right.
So this is the way it went in the warrant last year?
No.
This-
This is the way it was off the floor last year.
But it was voted this way. I mean,
That's correct.
That's the way it was voted on. And this is the way they're putting it in this year, just saying Sauhegan Valley Ambulance Service, and then,
No, we should,
it doesn't say anybody else.
If they sent it to us that way.
I'm not sure, they didn't write the article, I think Marie
I
did.
think we read the,
Yeah, so I would take that and do it this way, and I'll tell you why, Ben, because of the fact that if you limit this just to Sauhegan Valley, the reason it was changed at all before even was in case you didn't go with Sauhegan Valley, then you're limited, you don't have any, if it says just Sauhegan Valley, then if something happened and say they went out of business, they did this or did that, we were faced with that 2 or 3 years ago, in fact. It limits you, and then you don't have any way to contact or contract with another emergency service, I don't think legally. If you got this in here, then you can do it.
you can, but it's probably gonna be harder.
It would be very hard, because you already just said Sauhegan Valley, you're limited just to them.
Well, yeah,
That's
I
the
mean,
problem. That's why it was
Right.
changed here.
And so if you do it this way, it's no problem using
That's
Sauhegan
exactly
Valley,
right.
but it's no problem using
using
anybody
someone
else.
else,
Yeah,
that's
you can-
correct. If something was to happen and we chose not
You
to.
then have more latitude to go someplace else.
The only thing I was going to bring up was I wanted to separate some of these out, so they weren't all one boilerplate, but
What's that?
it's a little late now. We got them all lumped together.
They always have been, but that doesn't mean they have to be. I don't care, what do you mean you want them separated? You want separate articles for them? Is that what you're saying?
No, I need to look at it more, and I'm
Well,
not
look
prepared
at
for
it, and then come
tonight.
back next week and.
Gallery here tonight?
I'm not sure what you mean by.
Well, I was just thinking, each department, whatever was for each department, we throw pool and capital reserve and maintenance, parks and rec throw. That way we could always have kind of a feeler in town of how things are going.
The only other question that usually comes up with this, we can discuss it again next week, is they wanna separate these out, I don't care, cause you haven't got that many articles.
The thing, they're gonna keep us picking, choosing, and it doesn't affect the other department.
Right. That's, if someone gets real mad at,
See,
say,
this-
one of the
this way
departments.
here- This way here, you're voting on that whole article.
We got 14 right now. We got 14.
That's not ready.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, I'm right in.
if you wanna separate it out, say for example, if you wanna take, what's this one here is now expendable, even though it's on the state. So that you, as a selectman, have the latitude to take it and use that money whenever you want to without going back to the town, otherwise you have to.
That's the new truck.
Town every year.
Good.
Right.
Yeah. So, and pool, that's another question. There was a pool article, but what did you do with that? Is it in there? Was that the $41,000?
Here's the 75,000.
The new phone line put in, you got it made.
Okay, I didn't know
The new phone line, you got it made.
Something that really needs to be done.
that. Well, it is and it isn't, I don't know, because I don't even know if you want to have a system.
Good.
mean, happy as ever, so that's good, yep, back to normal.
I'm not positive Lou will agree or
Has she
not.
moved them up?
I haven't heard. I saw her parents the other day, but they didn't say anything.
No, she was talking about moving someplace. She wasn't sure if she was gonna move it. Okay.
Alright, I'll bring those up next week then,
Yeah, do that.
I'll figure that out. Okay, I just did tonight with the night.
We'll go through the budget.
Yep, you I'll have that all, I've got those.
One more time if you want.
Yep.
And you can make changes in the budget next week, you know, if you need to.
Okay.
Okay, now, my question, I guess, is do you want this worded exactly like this, or do you want to leave?
No, like this.
without and?
No, just like this. Just the way it was voted in last year.
Yeah, do it that way.
Okay.
So I
Until it's voted to change its wording.
Then you don't run into a legal thing.
Alright.
Right, yes, Mr. Hicks, you are here. You're next on, the
Mr. Cooper's here, but yeah, and Mr. Hicks, there we go.
I'm just not used to being early.
What? You're early?
But that's okay.
No, the timeline's up, early, that's all.
Oh, I guess you are. Says 7:30. Why, you wanna wait till 10 minutes?
It depends upon what you're serving.
Not that.
Okay, we won't.
All right. Here's the, question is, who's the other representative right now? You?
Yes. We held our annual meeting last night,
Yeah.
the annual corporate meeting,
Yeah.
and actually, we're very happy we've filled all positions. So, Claudine Rivard had to retire because of her job commitments. Claudine,
Oh, Claudine Lampkin.
no, Rivard.
Rivard?
You know, the bank manager, ex-bank
Oh,
manager.
she goes by the name of Rivard now?
Oh, is that right? Is it-
Used to be Lampkin.
okay. Well, I missed that chapter.
I guess I did too.
You missed the chapter, Ellen.
New one.
Change it back to Rivard.
So anyway, I was elected to fill her spot. And so I'm the representative. Adrian Feldhuser is the other one who has got, I think, I don't know if she's got 1 or 2 years left in hers.
Adrian?
Adrian.
Right.
And Jude has consented to come in and fill the town representative spot, which is a 1-year spot at this point.
That's the one Claudine had, you said, or no?
No,
That's
I took
another
over
one. Oh,
Claudine's.
you did Claudine.
He's
all right.
filling mine.
Yeah, okay.
So anyway, that's,
So that's your recommendation then, right?
yeah, I think, you know, he's
If he's
interested.
willing to volunteer, why should we be the ones to stop him?
Well, you know, I think it's all trying to do the right thing. I mean, he said, I'm a newbie. It's like, well, we all started somewhere. It's like, you know, we didn't fall off the
Well, he'd
the
never been
potato
on the
truck
school
with
board
all this
until the
knowledge.
first time, was he?
That's a fact.
It's like we haven't ever been selectmen until you do it the first
Right.
time, right?
So, I mean, I'm very happy to bring him on board, and I would think the town would be too.
I think so. I don't have any objections to it. Anything you wanna say?
No, I got no problem with that.
Okay, he's gonna be the third Ipswich representative.
So all 3 seats are filled for New Ipswich. Actually, all 3
His is
seats,
for 1 year.
right.
Okay, we need to know that, right?
Mhm.
Then you're gonna come back next year probably.
I still will remain the chairperson for the board. They elected me chairperson again last night.
You like that honor, huh?
Well, they'd like to have somebody around town to take care of business. I mean, somebody's gonna go down there every.
I guess you've been doing it from what I hear anyway,
Oh,
right?
yeah. I can
You
have
going to
every
Florida at all?
Yes, I will be going to Florida.
What does it when you're gone?
Brandy Steinman's is my alternate from Greenville.
All right, so I guess that does.
But they do have my phone number and they use it.
Is there any other discussion in regards to SBAS?
No,
I'll make a recommendation right now, then that we just, recommend to the board, because that's the way it has to be done, if I remember right. Doesn't the board have to accept them then, or have they done it already?
no, the board has to, we have to accept whoever your town representative
You
then.
don't have to, because I think there was a year, one time where they didn't accept the people that were recommended, am I right?
Well, under the bylaws now, we have to accept your appointment, one of your appointments, and one of Greenville's appointments.
That's right,
So, I mean,
I told Cindy I didn't know yet, if the laws had changed, when she talked to me the other night. So I'd make that recommendation that
Ipswich Board of Selectmen appoint Jim Cooper as the representative of South Pekin County Ambulance Service for a period of 1 year.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. You're now there. You're the man.
All right, I'm in, huh?
Didn't take long, did it?
No, I didn't.
Any other job you
Not
want?
too painful.
No?
Not at this time, but thank you for offering.
So
We
I'll
need
get all
people.
this contact information and fill them in on when we meet and so forth.
Okay. Anything else? As far as your budget, but I guess that's pretty well set. It's gonna be a warrant article, right? You know that, anyway.
I don't know what happened.
Well,
Oh, you mean the ambulance part?
for the ambulance part of it, yeah.
What
Not your budget.
What happened to the code red idea?
Code red, code red, code red. I was stop and think, did we or didn't we? You remember, Roger? No, you
I didn't deal with that.
It's, I'll have to get back to you, cause my memory, I can't remember now. That was, what was that? How many? $4,000, is that what it was?
About that person.
4,100? Huh?
Yep. And you were gonna look to see if you could find the money, you and Mike were gonna see if there was someplace you could find the money to pay for that.
Well, we didn't look very hard, because I haven't even talked to Mike since that day, I don't think, to be honest with you, so.
Are you guys fighting or something? I see
No.
the chairs.
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
I just haven't seen him, I don't know where he is, he's not here tonight, he won't be here till 8:30, 9 o'clock if he comes along, so. I don't know what he's doing, but he'll be here next week, I hope.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
yeah, we should have an answer by then,
okay.
because I think it was 40.
I've got a meeting on the 15th that I had committed to a long time ago.
Yeah, you
So-
told me that.
so I guess I'll look at the weather after that before I decide, but I'll let you know when I'm leaving anyway.
I think you already told me you had a commitment.
Yeah,
Okay.
in the town.
But that won't make a difference anyway.
Give me a chance to find out what you did.
What we did? What, wait a minute.
I don't think I can tell you. On the top of your head, you remember what the total budget was?
Well, the code red was in the communications budget, it wasn't in mine.
Communications. Was 67,102 is what the select board recommended
Chris Murphy.
this year. Finance committee had made a change of 3728. That was a decrease, right? Yeah. That wasn't for the code red, was it?
It might have been,
Huh?
yeah.
So, I guess in answer to your question, the finance committee had recommended that be taken out of there, so. I don't know, they said 67,102. Not sure. Well, originally you had asked for $70,000 communication, 70,800. That was taken out of there. So, as of right now, it looks like it's 67,102, but that code red was, I think was the figure that was taken out. There was $500 taken out for that co-director, right? Or for the
Yeah,
assistant?
that was in the other budget.
Hmm? Oh, that's yours, that's emergency management, you're right. It probably is the code red.
That was in communications, the same as, you know, Hillsborough
So
County
that
is
must be the
spent.
figure, 3728. 2012, you had 64,236. And you had asked for communication was 6,000 more, so roughly, not quite.
All right, well, I'm gonna be around, I'll check back with you.
That's right. Michael was gonna, what was he gonna do? We were gonna do something. Then Marie had left, and of course she hasn't come back. She'll be back maybe tomorrow, I'm not sure. Possibly, because she had a brother die while she was,
Yeah, that's what I heard.
she call you?
No, but somebody here in the office.
Huh? Well, maybe she called you. No, she called me at home, so. And she called Roger.
Right, and I think Roger let me,
Yeah, we try to communicate with all the people here. They don't go around asking, where's Marie, where's Marie? Does that ever happen?
once or twice maybe, what do you think, Roger?
Okay.
Okay,
Anything else?
I'm all set.
You all set, Jim?
I am, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks
You're welcome.
for,
Have a good night.
thanks for volunteering. And going, no, I didn't put the knife in your back. All right. Now you got to, did you ever call and find out about those, about that money that he was asking?
That encumbering,
Yeah, for the,
I called,
for the league, for the fines associated with the labor board?
I called LGC,
Yeah.
and they told me that you cannot encumber because after the end of the year.
That's
once
what I
in a
told
year,
you,
can't
right? But I wanted you to
encumber.
make sure,
Yeah.
make sure I knew what I was talking about.
That's what
I
they
knew you couldn't do it. Did you tell Michael when you talked to him?
said. I told him today.
So he understood it?
Yeah, he said we'll do something else.
We'll take it out of legal as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
But, unless
other
it's-
than we may need some legal for whatever.
well, I don't know
happens
if
in
you're gonna need that. You needed, let's see, we needed $5,000 for, Fairpoint,
Yep.
and that joint lawsuit with all those other towns, where Fairpoint's suing the towns for illegal assessing it, or whatever terminology you wanna use. It's roughly a $5,000 figure. Then, if we hire an attorney for this, well, you don't have to pay for that, so, for, I should say for the windmill thing, so. But they should still, legal, we changed that back to 25,000, Roger? No, 27. Originally, it was gonna be 32.5, and then we cut it back because of what we had actually spent this year. We've only spent like $11,000 in 2012. So, we didn't think we were gonna need that 42,500 in the year 2013. We may have to change that one next week too. I don't know, I don't think so. Shouldn't be that much. The only other thing that may have a bearing on it is when he was talking about USA Properties. I'm not sure where that's gonna go or where it's gonna end. There's some legal stuff that could get involved there.
Yeah, it's the beginning of the year, it's not.
What?
Well, they're coming at the first month of the year, so.
Who, USA?
Yeah, it's-
Yeah, but they've been coming for the last, how many years?
Years.
Understand.
Uh-huh. Then they had an extension, and then they went beyond the extension, and then they went and negotiated it out with the town and ended up coming back here, whereas they would have ended up going to court. So, it's on and on and on. That's 48, that's a 48 house lot development, I think is what it involved. A lot of swampland down there.
Who's that at? Who's that at?
All right, anything else that we have, Roger?
Back road to Temple.
We had one other issue, but we can't bring it up tonight because we don't have enough information. Cindy didn't talk to you about a piece of property up there past Messinic, did she?
No.
Which is another issue if we can. Marie was gonna advertise 11 Temple Road, right? Were we gonna advertise that or not, for sale?
She was supposed to.
No, she didn't get to it. Okay. The other thing is that we're gonna have to determine, did you get any more of those resumes or applications for a town administrator?
I didn't see any more.
What do you got, just 7? I think it's 6 or 7,
I think
whatever it was.
6 or 7,
Huh?
I haven't even seen them all.
Wanna do a special night for that?
Well, we can. I don't know if you want to or not. How do you wanna do it?
Well, we got budget next week. I don't wanna put applications with the budget.
Yeah.
I don't really wanna put it off 2 weeks, cause we need to get going on it so that they have a chance to sit the same part of this process that she's sticking around for.
I don't wanna put it on too long either, because it may take longer than, there were some people that were advocating going through another agency and let them do it, but I don't think you need to do that.
No, I don't believe so.
I don't think
I would not be in favor of that.
You haven't looked at any of them, huh?
No, I have not, I did not
You know
know.
where they are? What you do with them?
I don't know what
I've
she
seen
did.
them, huh?
I don't know what she did with it.
I'll have time Thursday night, I'll get in touch with her, if she comes back tomorrow, I'll give it a call in the late afternoon and see if she can't put a folder together.
Well, I'm not gonna guarantee she's gonna be here tomorrow either, because she needed to, she had to get a flight from Florida to Arkansas, and then from Arkansas to back to wherever and come here, if she's back tomorrow. Originally, she was gonna be back for yesterday, but,
Is there a deadline on those applications?
yeah, the 13th.
13th.
She said the 11th.
What?
She told me the 11th.
She said the 11th? The 11th is what day then?
Friday.
I thought it was the 13th, but maybe I'm wrong. Is it 13th Monday?
13th is Sunday.
Sunday,
Well, it can't be the 13th then.
11th must be the deadline.
It was 11, Monday,
That's this Friday.
this Friday.
You got it written down?
No, but the 11th is this Friday.
It may have been the 11th, I was thinking it was on a Monday, but, or whatever. I don't know how I got the 13th.
I don't know what Mike's schedule is, so I'm not going to put a night. We could decide next Tuesday, if we could find a night next week after Tuesday night and just go through
Well,
it.
you can start, I mean,
Yep.
because, the farthest one away, I think, is, where is it? Up in Vermont somewhere. But the rest of them are fairly close.
Okay.
And we'll see where it takes us, I guess, if that's where we wanna go. Apparently, there were some people running around with a rumor that we're gonna have a committee, and I don't know where that came from. And we have never actually even discussed it. We need to, the first thing we need to do, is, to be honest with you, is to discuss starting pays and all that probably, or somewhere in the vicinity, because I think the way the ad's written is it's salaries commensurate with experience, so.
Yep.
If somebody hasn't ever been a town administrator but has a BA and all that stuff, they may start, whereas if you've got somebody that's probably not gonna happen with 20 years as a municipal administrator or a town manager or something, probably a little higher. Fully knowledgeable of town municipal practices, even though they're always changing. Other than that, like, anything else that you can think of?
I'm all set.
You're all set? You made out okay with, did you ever get that other one individual, the paperwork from, that was required?
I've talked to David a couple times and let him know, but he's supposed to be getting it.
Oh, part of that labor problem.
What?
Yeah, this one.
The problem is, you
Oh, I
gotta
don't want to sit on the air, so.
be, what? The problem is that you gotta be very careful as to how you go about doing these things, and apparently, even though, cause they did a pretty thorough audit, so.
Yeah, no, whenever you do a W-4, you have to have everything, and if you don't, you can't hire them.
Well, you can't put them to work.
Right.
See, in that
Can't
one,
pay 'em.
in that one instance, for example, somebody was hired, went to work on the 3rd of June, but didn't do their paperwork, it's in there, and didn't do their paperwork until the 13th, I guess it was, of June, and you can't do that, so. And then, you gotta be very careful with these kids, and, high school kids that are under 16. So you gotta go through the school, and you gotta go through the parent before you can even, you gotta get permission from both before you can put them to work. And unfortunately, it used to be a practice here, and I don't know when it stopped. A number of years ago, it was always done that way. You didn't do anything unless you went through the school and the parents got their permission. As far as the pool, for example, the pool is generally the one that was used.
And then those explorers for the fire department are younger.
Well, the Explorers, yeah, but they didn't have it, I mean,
Are they compensated?
Explorers, what? Are they what? Compensated? Yes.
Okay.
So,
They're stipend, but
they
Well,
get,
that's
they get,
compensation.
no, they get money. So, it doesn't matter, I don't think, even if they are or they aren't, does it? I think you still need paperwork.
You need certain paperwork for a volunteer, but it's not the same.
no.
But anyway, you're gonna have all that, and it's all gonna be done, so that's why,
Do you need us to say something to David? Cause otherwise he can't be doing anything.
I can't pay him until I get the paperwork.
No, I've talked,
And I don't know,
I talked to him about it, trying to.
Some of these, they're after the fact. I don't even know they're getting hired. I don't know they're working, and then they come back to me to pay them,
No, I
and I
know,
don't have the
but
paperwork.
Marie sent a memo to all the department heads and so forth regarding that, right?
Yeah,
Did you get a
Yeah.
copy of it?
I heard about it.
I know she,
So if they don't, if it's not done then that's something that it's gonna have to be addressed in a different way, or should be. Because don't forget, you got fined $4,100.
49.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. That's
For
pretty,
19 violations. Now, they may sound trivial and so forth, but in reality, they're the ones that you can't appeal it.
Fine. How much we get fined?
I think it's 4,100.
49.
4900.
I'm sure it's 49. Is it 49?
I have the paper right here.
All right.
I just looking at it. It's right.
Everything, so that's the total.
They're all calculated at $100 a violation, so I guess it's more than what the, what is it, times?
100 for 16, 100
Yeah.
at 15, and 100 at 18,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Can
Every
you,
violation's $100.
can you appeal it?
Can you what?
Can you appeal that?
Yeah, you could appeal it, but you can't appeal it if you're not in compliance, and we're not in compliance
We're not
until
in
we pay that
compliance.
last guy.
Because of
Basically,
that one particular case.
Somebody dropped the ball and not, this should never have come up in the first place, in my eyes.
What?
The problem you have here.
Well, I'm sort of, in a way, I'm glad it did, because then you know that, because they're subject to come
Well,
down
you're supposed to
anytime.
know ahead of time. You're not supposed to know when you get in hot water and get a $5,000 fine.
We as
Well, the
selectmen,
next person that you hire for the town administrator job, and
what I'm saying is
in
that-
my mind, I consider that's their job. You gotta have somebody that's
Right.
qualified for that job.
Yep, and plus
That's what my own
department heads
opinion.
have to be on their toes too. It's
Yes,
just a case of-
absolutely, but who's the department, who's the head of who runs the departments? If they're not knowledgeable about these laws or rules or stuff, who's,
But like I told you that a few years back, it was done that way then, and like I said, I don't know when it stopped or why it stopped.
but it's not your job to know, it's,
Not us, no, but we're the
that's
ones that end
why
up with the.
I heard you say somebody with 20 years' experience would be a good hire. Well, I kind
It
of
would
agree.
be a good hire.
Huh?
If you can find somebody with 20 years of municipal experience, which you're not gonna probably.
Well, you're the one that said it, not
I
me.
did say it.
And I'm
I'm
agreeing
saying
with
it's a
you.
good hire because of the fact that.
They're up on
So
all
much
this.
of an experience there.
Right.
well, they are and they're not. I mean, I'm only going to say this is because I dealt with a recent HR person, and because
Yeah.
you've had so many years' experience, and that's such a basic entry level thing. It really is. When you first get going, you
Yeah.
remember it. That they forget that all that has to be documented so quickly before someone can actually start work.
I mean, that sounds like a basic rule. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, I had to go through it. We go through it all the time with the employees. I mean,
In my
it's-
estimation, that never should have happened. I mean, that's kind of a
Well, I
basic.
guess that I kind of agree with you because I never realized that it was happening.
Yeah, yeah.
I just assumed that it was still the way it was, say, 10, 15 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
And apparently somewhere along the line, it wasn't. So.
if we don't have a check for the person putting through payroll, that if all the documentation isn't checked off,
Yeah.
you don't get a check. Period. I mean, that's until you get all your
Somebody
W-4 stuff
That's
complete.
what somebody's job is, to make sure all these little things have been done right. Otherwise, you're gonna never get another fine, kind of wasted money.
Big waste of money, by all
Yes.
means. It is.
So I guess the point is too, like I heard a lot of this with the police officers, that, you know, if you pay a little more, maybe you get a little more quality too. I don't know.
Back to that's such a basic thing. I
Yeah.
think anybody that's applying that knows anything to do with payrolls should
Yeah.
know those basic parts.
Yeah.
Speaking of police officers, one just started yesterday, right? You knew that, right?
We have 4, right?
Huh?
We have 4 full-time?
Right now?
Yeah.
You got a lieutenant, you got a chief, and you got Tony, Officer Tony, who just came out of the academy, and then Scott Radford just started yesterday.
So it's
Yeah.
5 full time.
Well, yeah,
Huh?
So it'd be 5 with the chief.
oh, Cause there were
There's
Chief
four,
Lieutenant Tony Scott Radford,
Then there's another one starting next week.
there'll be another one coming next week.
full boat then, right?
Chief's been doing a good job getting it filled in a quick period of
Yes.
time. This is
Yes,
a
yes.
much quicker than I expected.
Me too.
Very happy.
Yep,
It won't be 6 for a while though,
Oh,
because
yes.
of the finance committee and the agreements they had, basically when he agreed to hold back and not hire the final one until after.
I think that was, like I mentioned at the funeral, that was good PR for the police department, excellent, I
Would you
thought.
tell him?
I've been getting
No,
real good
I didn't,
feedback.
I haven't seen him to talk to, but I'm telling you guys, so,
I've been getting some real excellent feedback. I know he spent a lot of personal time up with the recent tragedy that happened
Yeah,
and all that
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
stuff. And so it was good to see, you know, they
That's
could count
good.
on someone.
good PR, yeah,
He was up there for 12 hours.
yep, excellent. See, I didn't know that, but now.
You didn't know that?
No, but now,
I didn't either, but it's true.
well, yeah,
No,
that's good,
he was, I know he was there.
Yep.
And then of course, he was involved in parts of the investigation and a lot of the other aspects of the thing, so. He's been getting around, Lieutenant.
yes,
Getting around, and hopefully things will look better as far as public relation wise for the police department. I think
Yeah.
that, from what I'm getting anyway, from most people, is the feedback is good.
yeah,
But, real good, so. We'll see what happens in March, that's probably a determining factor, right?
yeah,
To a certain extent it is. These are qualified police officers, and Tony, of course, he was in the top. You said he was third, Ronald? I
The
thought-
chief told me he was third, yes.
I knew he was in the upper
That was good. That's very good.
part of his class, so.
Very good.
He's on the job every day now, and the other guy just came from Jaffrey. He lives in New Ipswich, so he's a taxpayer here. And the other one that's gonna be coming is from, actually he's from Chelmsford, Mass. He lives in, I think, yeah, Chelmsford, and he works for the Greenville Police Department right now.
He lives in Chelmsford?
I believe it's Chelmsford. But he's a certified police officer, and he's been around for a while. Forgetting how many years he's got. I think Scott Radford's got 6 only, but he might have more.
It's good. That's good.
But plus he lives in New Ipswich, so maybe that's an advantage, maybe it's a disadvantage for him, I don't know. Anyway, that's, the chief's been doing real good, and things have been going well all the way around. I think we got a lot done in the last 3 or 4 months as far as communications. The antenna's up there on that pole. It's not completely done yet, but it will be, unless they did it today. I don't think they did, there's still some more electrical work to be done. Beltronics, I believe, still has to go back up there, but other than that, why, poles in the ground and all the rest of it. So,
That way they'll hopefully have better communications with the sheriff's department.
State police, sheriff's department, everybody.
Well, hope so, because when they had that trailer up there, it was only, was it 40 feet or whatever it was, and they were able to broadcast all over town. So, anyway, that's that. Anything else that you have?
I got nothing
Any other
tonight.
questions? Huh?
I got nothing tonight.
You got nothing? You want,
You all set for making a motion?
I was gonna let you take that, but I think it's the only one we got.
I'll come in and read it. It's going to be a couple of reasons.
That's all in regards to the windmills.
Oh, yeah, and I am familiar with it,
Let's go
so.
back through here one more time. I don't think
Okay,
there's anything
I'll
else in
wait.
there. You're gonna wait?
Well, I'll wait till it has for a motion to adjourn. I'll let you go through the file folder real quick.
No, I don't think there's anything else in it. That's,
I didn't see anything.
that was that thing from the Department of Labor. We discussed that, we discussed Michael Conlon. We got the You got a copy of that, right, Roger, the latest petition article? Okay, so, that's the original one.
This gotta go to, Cindy.
Huh?
She gets the original.
Yeah.
Who?
Cindy does.
Why?
She files it.
She does?
Yeah, I can take it. Show that she get it.
I didn't know she got it. She told you she does?
Yeah.
Okay. They have to come.
And she verifies the names too.
Cindy does that now?
Make sure they're registered voters.
When did they change that? Not that I care, I don't care. If you got more than 25, what's the difference?
Well, you gotta, I guess you gotta make sure that you have at least 25 on the checklist.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure there's, most of those names that are on there are all registered voters of New Ipswich. If you look-
Plus Marcia Over's on the checklist, so I think she'd know probably if they were.
You go all the way down this, this line, right there, there's 1, 2, 3. All these people here I know are registered voters, 4, 5, 6, right there, yeah. Keep going. There's more than 25 on here. In fact, they got, what was the number?
30,
Does it only go through 30?
goes up to 30.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but they're pretty much all registered voters, Roger.
Okay.
But she can check them if she wants.
She legally has to.
Hmm?
Someone legally has to.
We used to do it, right, the selectman or secretary. They do it, but that's okay. All right,
I moved to adjourn.
one other question, you wanna go to this, or can you go to this? It's a breakfast at the hospital on January, what is it, 18th? If you've never been, why, just bring the road, I've been to it a number of times. I think Mike said he indicated day he'd like to go, so.
Legislative breakfast.
What it is you get up there for, what, 7 o'clock? I'm gonna say something, I don't remember the number, is it 7 or 7:30? Yeah, 7:30 to 9, right here.
Friday, January 18th.
Yeah, it's usually on a Friday, early in the morning,
Oh, that's my boss.
nice food. The boss, was that your wife?
No, I wish. No, real boss. It's a work day.
Oh, well, but it only lasts until, like it says there, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, but we start at 5, so.
Alright, well. You go up there and mix elbows with Jimmy C. and all your state representatives from around here and other selectmen from other towns are sometimes there, not all of them, but a number of them. And might even have a state senator now and then, but not very often. Yeah, we had one last year. Which one was he? The guy from the district up north. On the Vermont border. But doctors and all they do is just report on how well the hospital is doing and
Look for donations.
yeah, they always talk about donations, of course they do. But it's a very good meal, very good meal.
Does Cindy Valancourt cook it?
Must be Thursday,
Who?
January.
Cindy Valancourt, she runs a kitchen up there in the hospital.
Uh-huh.
Up where, in the hospital?
Right,
So.
Peterborough Hospital.
She does?
Yeah.
Cindy.
Clyde's
wife, Cindy?
Clyde's wife.
No, I don't think I've ever seen her there, but I've seen Isla there.
Yeah,
Isla
there.
works there.
I'll call in.
Ayla's second in
If I
command.
can go.
Cindy's
Boss in the
Cindy's
morning.
head honcho.
She is?
Yep.
Oh.
So if you're in there, you ask for Cindy, she'll give you some good breakfast.
I don't believe
You're gonna call, you're
I'll call tomorrow.
gonna call Roger and tell him?
Yep, if I can. I gotta double check what our schedule's like.
Then Roger,
It's an office days.
you can call and tell him that there'll be 3 of us there. Possibly 3. If you tell him you're coming and then you don't come, it's not a big deal anyway, cause there's no money involved.
Just trying to get an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wanna know how much to have.
So, just calm
See.
down, and then if
You
something
want me to call
happens.
anyway?
Yeah,
Tom's, okay.
3 selectmen.
I'll call you if I can't make it.
Okay.
But either way, it doesn't.
Yeah, put me down right now, but I'll call you if I can't. I haven't been to one of those in a couple of years.
Can't make it have one place.
There you go.
What do you say?
He can eat a breakfast, this guy.
You're gonna go?
Sure, why not?
Okay,
I moved to adjourn.
I'll second, all in favor?
Alright.
Okay, we're adjourned officially.